What's up, everybody? Let's see if we can knock a review out on the squiggle here. I was going to do this review a little bit earlier, but there was another guy who made a squiggle review right around the time that I was going to make mine, so I figured I'd let him have a few weeks, like a month, with him having his review up. I just didn't want any overlap on it, really. So this will be my review, my thoughts on it. This is the Scorpion Tonto, I believe is what this blade shape is called. I know it's not the most preferred one. I know a lot of people like the alt rep blades just because the tip is a little bit beefier. These Scorpions love to break that tip off. I've seen some really bad where they're like that. But I like it. It doesn't look too bad in my opinion. This will be a review focused on the squiggle handles instead of a hybrid or a stock standard rep. So with that being said, if you're gonna get a rep, you might as well get squiggle handles if you have the money to sink into a rep. If you're wanting to play it safe, just don't buy a rep. Reps are like the high maintenance girlfriend that you don't want, okay? And by high maintenance, I mean if you drop them on your bed, if you drop it on your carpet, much less drop it on a hardwood floor or concrete, the tune out the window. There's just not enough clearance between the handle and the blade, right? There's just not enough clearance there to be able to keep a really good tune on it. So the durability wise, just really it isn't there. So this is a great knife to flip if you're going to be flipping it over super soft surfaces, or you don't mind keeping up with the maintenance, constantly oiling it, cleaning it. If you're ordering from BRS, you ordered your rep and it has tune issues, which it probably will, going through and tuning it up to get it to where it's got the very little tap, and as little of tap as this has, this knife is this close to having play. It doesn't, but it's that close. There you go. So there's your play test. Doesn't have play. I can guarantee you if I dropped it a couple of times, it would have play. And the same can't be said for things like even a Lucha, which is a lot cheaper than this. But if you're going to get a rep, I think you should get the squiggle handle scales. One, it makes it a lot more desirable to flip, in my opinion. The weight is a lot better. I like these a lot more. Now mine was a hybrid rep, so that's the only type of experience I have, and that makes it a little bit worse because the hybrid reps really aren't that sought after. Now, if you do get your squiggle rep and you hate it, you can sell these handles for like $400. I think these cost $300. So you're making money off of it, or you can sell them for what you paid and just get your money back. Then you put your blade back on your standard rep, sell it, boom bang. Or you just sell the whole unit, you get $650, $700 out of it. Not a bad deal either way you go. This one is actually sold. So I'm making this review now before I have to ship it out tomorrow. Now, this knife flips great. Sound test. So yeah, the knife flips great. It sounds good. The balance is pretty spot on. Slight handle bias, which is a lot of people prefer, keeps the knives interesting. Makes you want to flip them. If they're super neutral, most people don't find that enticing, and then a lot of people don't like the blade heavy knives either. So this is kind of where you want it. The herringbone pattern, I love it. The manufacturing on these is exquisite. I can't speak for how durable the titanium is, seeing as this one actually was dropped, and I don't know what it hit. I don't think it hit anything hard, really, but it chipped out on the bottom here. Now, I make knives. I have the capabilities to get that out, so I have since then got the chip out, and you can't tell that it was ever dropped because I took care of that. But that is an issue that you have to consider, because I don't know what grade the titanium is on this, but just from that brief encounter, it doesn't seem like it's any type of super titanium. These scales do take away the hardware for the Zen pins, which is always nice. Nobody likes to see a bunch of hardware on their knives, right? So with them being press fit in, it's it's desirable. I think so, at least. And then you can get anodizations on these squiggle handles that look absolutely amazing. The fades that I've seen some people put on these knives is absolutely beautiful. And if I was going to keep one, I would do it to mine for sure. And I might get another one in the future, but for right now, I'm just trying to get away from them just because of the durability aspect of it. I will say it has a nice rounded spine, right? So that's lovely whenever you're doing any type of rollovers, whatever. That's just stock standard with all your BRS reps. But overall, the handles, I don't have an exact weight, but the weight on them is very desirable. It's not heavy. It's not so light that it's hard to get momentum going. So it carries through the tricks very well. So from a flipping standpoint, this is a great knife to flip. Durability standpoint, I can't say that it's the most durable knife for sure. For the price point of it, if you get, I mean, my rep cost I think $450, and then another $300 for the handles, and then I sold this knife with the squiggle handles for $700, and I've still got my my handles. So I can sell those or buy a blade and I can make some spacers, and I've got some extra bushings, so then I'll have another rep. So there's a lot to play around with on these, and I enjoy that. There's tons of mods. Basically everybody and their brother can mod a rep, or you can send it to somebody like XK who can fully mod your rep, and they do really good work, or he does really good work. If you're gonna get a rep and you're wanting to mod it, he's a great person to go to. One more time on the play here. So yeah, even as little of play as that thing has, it's still that close to having tap. I mean, it doesn't, but it's the tolerances shouldn't be that dire. I mean, you can see it. There's just not a lot of wiggle room in there, and this isn't Squiggle's fault. This is standard for reps. They're very finicky. Now, the only thing I think this knife does struggle with a little bit more, when you put the squiggle handles on over the hybrid scales, is the chaplain. The stock hybrid scales are just so heavy that they just hug around your finger and don't let go. These being a little bit lighter, if you take off your scales, you put these on, you're not going to be quite accustomed to it, and you're going to do a chaplain and it's going to fly off because you're not going to have the speed down right away. But after you get acclimated to the new weight of it, it hugs your finger just fine, doesn't really want to fall off. The herringbone pattern on this is quite, it adds quite a bit of texture, so it's very very comfortable as far as the slick aspect. It doesn't feel super slick. There's enough texture there to keep your hands from sliding off, but not so much that it wants to hang up and get caught whenever you're doing maneuvers. It is slightly rounded, which is lovely. Choker fans, you gotta love it. There is no texturing on the side here, so it is just milled flat, which I'd like to see some texturing on here. Maybe even if that pattern could follow through on the sides, would be cool. Can't complain too much. You can't have everything, but I think that would add an extra benefit to your choker fans, and then that would make this an absolute beast as far as your choker fans do go, and maneuvers following that aspect. Other than that, I mean, that's really it. This is a great knife to flip. Beautiful watching it flow. It doesn't really hang up or anything. It's just the durability aspect really isn't there for me, and I'm not a good flipper, so I drop my knives. So with that being said, that's why I'm selling this one. I probably will get a new one sometime in the future. I can't say that it'll be anytime soon, but if one pops up for the right price and I'm having a spending frenzy that day, I'll probably pick another one up. But I think we'll go ahead and cut that off here before I just keep repeating myself. Get one if you can. If you don't want to rep, don't get one. I mean, they're very finicky. You'll have to baby it, but it will flip beautifully. That's my 2 cents. Alright, I'll sign off here. Bye.